Carolina it was a tough loss for us. In that game, we did a lot of great things, but also we did some things that may have cost us the game. We got the game down to the last parts of the game, about a minute or something left. We had our timeout and 2-minute drill, which we worked on for the last, all the time. Opportunity to have a chance to go and tie the game up, and then after that situation, you can see if you want to go for 2 points and win it early. I think the guys played tremendously hard. We flew around. We had fun on both sides of football, created turnovers, which I thought was vital in what got our success in that game. We created turnovers. And then we got some touchdowns in the red zone. But still, we have to continue to work in the red zone because we left points by just kicking field goals. Special team-wise, BP dropped the muff punt, was big in the game, but the one thing that didn't happen is that those guys didn't dwell on it. BP didn't dwell on it when they talked to him after the muff and said, you got a long time to go, a long game to play. Let's shake that off and let's keep moving. And then after that, we put Freddie Swain in because, take that pressure off of him. Those are things that you have to do when you have a team like this. And kind of excited about, where we ended up. Not happy about it, but excited because those guys fought throughout the whole game. Injury-wise, McCoy is probably going to be out for the whole season with his injury. Malik is day-to-day. Depends on how he's feeling each day. Elijah Conliffe is day-to-day. So we got a lot of day-to-days right now with those two guys, but TJ is definitely out. That, with injury-wise, will probably be about it, I think. Questions?
So what do you do at quarterback? Is it definitively Franks going forward?
Yeah, you have to go with Franks right now because you don't know Malik's day-to-day, and we have to develop somebody else. The last 2 to 3 weeks, Trey Massey have taken snaps at quarterback. He was a quarterback in high school, and he had done some 7-on-7 and snap counts. We just have to water down a little bit what we're trying to get done on offense when he's in the game. But he can execute things. So we're excited, not excited, but we're happy that we have him working on Drake Massey playing some quarterback.
And in a season like this, Randy, you've always had that, coaches get the bowl carrot to kind of dangle in front of guys. Now that that's seemingly gone, what do you guys do moving forward here for these final 2 games?
Pride, being a Gator, that's what it's all about. Being a Gator, having pride in what you do. Pride as a football team, pride is representing this university, and pride of being something that's special. I mean, these guys, we got 2 games left. We got 2 home games. It's coming up a 2-game, skid on the road. Now it's an opportunity to come back home and get the fans back into it, get this base back into it, and keep moving forward. That's my right behind you.
Given the injuries on the offensive line, how challenging has that been to deal with, and what can you maybe do to, I guess, shore things up there?
Well, you just have to move guys around a little bit. I mean, it's like the NFL. When NFL, you have you travel maybe 7 offensive line. You got to make one guy have to play guard and center. The other guy have to play tackle. Those will be your 7. Tyler Jordan will be the center. Rouse will have to step up with Fred and Harkless, and then you got the other 2 guys being the same thing. Then you got Stone Forsythe to be the backup at left and right tackle. So we got bodies, we got guys. We just have to coach them up down.
Gary? Randy, the mentality of a team such as UAB, we've seen it where Troy beating LSU, Middle Tennessee beat Syracuse earlier this year. What's the message you give your kids when they're facing a team that's really got nothing to lose? There's no expectations. They're going to play loose. They seem to have no fear of these teams and playing on the road in these situations. So, how do you kind of combat what their mentality is going to be like?
You don't try to combat or it's a football team. It's a college football team. Any college football team you can lose to each and every time an opportunity comes up. These guys got to believe and just trust and believe in yourself. Play for within yourself, play the game. Don't worry about what the opponent has. Everybody may look at UAB and say, well, it's UAB. Well, they're 7-3. Okay, so that should wake everybody's eyes open and stuff like that. And those are things that you do in football that, in this time and age, that the name doesn't mean anything. It's the player you're playing against. If you play to the level of your competition, well, that's what you're going to get and what you're going to expect. But if you play at your level each and every day, you will get and demand what you want out of it. And that's the thing that we have to preach these guys to understand. Play at your level. Don't play at nobody else's level. Don't take anybody for granted in life. Every opportunity you have a chance to do something like, do it at a high level. Don't do it at a next level. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Edgar. You and the players both mentioned the seniors the other day, playing for them. this class has been through a lot. I mean, 2 coaching changes now. And what have you seen from it, and how has it just kind of maintained resiliency?
You know what? It's coaching changes are coaching changes, but I think more than anything, they see their friends not around. You know, you don't have Papa around, you don't have Nick Washington, you don't have Marcel around, you don't have TJ around. It's a lot of guys missing on this football team that was a part of this football team. And a lot of times guys tend to bond together and start thinking about those guys who's not fortunate enough to play. Because each and every day you only get one chance. And at that point in time, something can be taken away from you. So these guys don't take it for granted that, hey, this is just a game or something we do. This is something that could be taken away from you. If you ask each and every one of them, what would you do if you didn't have football? You probably have about a 10-second pause. They really don't know because this is all they have right now. So they understand that point of, it's not me, it's not whoever, it's this program, your friends, the teammates that you have on this football team. Those are the guys that you really have to go down and say, listen, this guy's not here. What do I have to do to get to that next point of making this team be where they are?
And the guys that are left, a few of them, I mean, what have you seen from them in terms of leadership and just kind of keeping,
You know, we was down 14 points. We was down 14 points. You've seen the defensive guys and offensive guys talking to each other in the huddle. Hey, hey, hang in there. We're gonna get some points. Hey, or the defense, hey, we screwed up. Hey, we'll get some turnovers. We'll correct these things. And they did. That's the thing that you want from this team, to make sure they mingle and talk about things they're trying to get done, to give the confidence to both sides. And they play with confidence. And I think that's the one thing that you have to see in this team.
Brian? Will Swain continue as the punt returner?
Yeah, we work him, we work Dre, we'll make BP, just whoever does best. BP has a tendency of, when we watch the tape, he has a tendency to lean to the right. Instead of catching it forward, the 2 punts he did to lean to the right. So he's going to have to understand that this week, like anything else, he probably won't be the punt returner. We have to get somebody that's going to give us a chance to catch the ball.
Matt?
You mentioned UAB being 7-3. How impressive is that, considering just a couple years ago the program was gone? What
you look at the tape when I was at Arkansas, it's about maybe on that defense, about maybe 6 guys. When I was at Arkansas, we were freshmen. Now they're 50 as seniors. That tells you about that program, is that the guys stayed in school, stayed with the program. And when you have a lot of guys at that point in time, played a lot of football, I think it was 14, now they're playing now, that makes a difference in that football team. Guys who were 50 as seniors and stuff played a lot of football, and juniors who played a lot of football. Look at their roster when you get a chance, you'll see a lot of 10 starts, 12 starts, 11 starts. You'll see a lot of those starts on that deal. That will tell you about the team.
Edgar?
So Taven Bryan, what level is he playing at right now? He seems to really...
He's playing at a high level. We expect more of him. We expect to be more dominant than what he's doing. I mean, he's dominated some games this year. We want to be consistent on. And he knows he can be that person. And I think like anything else, people are going to, double team him and things like that. But like we always say, okay, you get double team. Now, beat the double team. You're that type of player to beat it. You're the type of player that can take over a game. And we want that from him, and he wants it from himself. And we're going to demand it from him. We want more from him, like anything else. It's not just Taven, it's a lot of other guys. C.C. Jefferson stepped up this past weekend, making a lot of plays. So we continue to stress the guys who played a lot of football, but also these young guys, they got to continue to make plays.
Speaking of young guys, David Reese, what did you see in him when you were recruiting him, when he got here, that would lead you to believe that this guy was going to be such a stand-up guy and a leader? I mean, he's coming in and speaking every week. Not everybody's wanting to do that, and he seems to take that role.
Well, when recruiting him, he played tailback, fullback, linebacker. And his dad, I remember his dad played at Michigan State as a defensive lineman. He was pretty good when he played at Michigan State. And you take that mentality, and his mom's such a great lady. She don't play with him at all. She don't treat him like this is my baby. She treat him like a young man, and a guy that sees a future in himself. Not just being a football player, but as a person that has to be society-wise. 10, 15 years from now, that's how David thinks. Where am I going to be at 10, 15 years from now? So that's a guy that has some leadership qualities and skills, and he's taking that role now with his football team and doing those things.
I mean, how impressed are you with the fact that he's so mature? I mean, what is he? I mean, I'm assuming he's 19 years old.
Normal, because I've been around a lot of young guys that was leaders early, and it's just fortunate right now with his team. He's got to be that leader, and he's got to be that guy to speak up. Every time you have a leader, the leaders can can change the difference in a football team. You know, leaders get people to do things that they don't want to do that's going to help them be successful. I remember not comparing Reese to Ray Lewis. As a freshman, I remember the D-line, when they put him in the huddle, and all the D-line was like, we need this guy, get us cranked up, get us juiced up, make us feel like he's going to get our back. He's the guy that's going to make us do things. Well, that was a freshman getting a bunch of older guys to feel that way. At that point in time, he was a leader. And that's all you got to do is get people to do something that they don't think they can do, and he can do it.
Garrett?
Coach, we don't get to see UAB on TV a lot like other teams, but they've got a freshman running back among all freshmen. He's second in the nation running, Brown. What's he look like on film? Does he remind you of anybody?
They're explosive. They're second in the conference in rushing. You know, Conference USA has always been an explosive conference, no matter for years, because they throw the ball, they run the ball, they line up and spread. Always have a quarterback who can run the football. That's another dimension that adds on to what they can do. So when you have a running back and a quarterback that can run the football, and then you got maybe a skilled guy here and there, then it cause problems. And that's an explosive lead that plays with a lot of explosion.
What's a running back look like? What kind of?
Just a running back. The offense is what they do. You know, if you go in that conference, everybody has that same type of running back that can scat back it. But the run game of what they're doing prevents problems because you have a guy playing, you either take the running back or you take the quarterback. You have to figure out which one you want to do. In your scheme, you have to figure out which one to take. So when you got guys like that in that conference, in that league, and what they do on offense, it gets you a problem.
In the back, Coach, I know you said Malik was day-to-day. Do we know exactly what that injury was?
I don't know. That's medical stuff. I can't say all the things that's wrong with him right now. You know, that's just a day-to-day deal.
All right, cool. And with Felipe, you saw what he did when he came in, had a pretty decent showing. If Malik starts to feel good, is it back to Malik, or are you going to still keep rolling?
I can't predict the future. It's just day-to-day. If we feel like Malik is ready, he'll be ready. If not, Felipe going to be the guy. Right at this point in time, we'll play a game. Felipe will be the guy, and that's what we have to go with today.
Thomas?
Is there a challenge in the human element of your coaches and your assistant coaches trying to prepare for games, yet also maybe thinking in the back of your mind about the future?
No, we're professionals. It's our job. I just went out recruiting this morning. I mean, is that my job to go out and recruit? Yeah, that's my job to go out and recruit because you're still a part of this university. You can't think about the future. You got to think about what your job is now. And each and every one of these staff members, the only thing we're worrying about is coaching this football team and recruiting for this football team. That's the business that we're in. We know that at some point in time you will get fired, and then that's when you become a real true coach, when you get fired. So you move on, you do your job. Now you can sit back and not do your job, and then now you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And this staff has done a great job of just coaching, recruiting, and doing what's best for this university. And whatever happens after that happens.
Anything else, guys? Mark?
I'm going to take a wild swing here. Miami, Notre Dame. Player in 87, player in 88, those classic games. Did you take anything out of watching? Did you get to watch this week? Did you?
Didn't watch it.
Didn't watch it?
No, I was excited for the program because I'm an alumnus, being Notre Dame, and they're doing a great job. Mark Rick, great job what he's doing. He's an alumnus of the university. Me and Mark know each other. We talk every now and then, but just excited and happy for him and that program.
Is it been a while? I mean, I know it's been a while, but is it nice to see where they're at, getting this thing back on track?
Always. It's always great.
Andy?
A lot of fans are wondering why Dre Massey was named as like the number 3 quarterback over Kadarius Toney. Is that because of Toney's injury status?
Dre Massey has taken more reps at quarterback than Kadarius. Kadarius been out, a couple of weeks, so we cannot just throw somebody back in there. That's why the guys who's got the most reps at that point in time, that's the guy you have to go with.
Robbie?
Randy, you guys have struggled stopping the run. Has it been a combination of things? What's going on there?
Youth, injuries, and guys just not filling the gaps at the proper time. The consistency factor. I mean, you think about it. They pop one touchdown, okay? Then all of a sudden it's 4th down and 1. We fit everything right. That's what I mean. The consistency of playing the defense all the time. And when you're young, not making up an excuse when you're young, you're going to have those consistencies. Is it our job to continue to get it out of them? It is our job to continue to get it out of them.
You guys? All right, thanks.
All right, fellas. Thanks. Take care.